the monster atomic bomb that was too big to use. On the morning of October 30, 1961, a Soviet Tu-95 bomber took off from Olanya airfield in the Kola Peninsula in the far north of Russia. The Tu-95 was a specially modified version of a type that had come into service a few years earlier, a huge, swept-wing, four-engine monster tasked with carrying Russia's arsenal of nuclear bombs. On August 29, 1949, the Soviets had tested their first nuclear device, known as Jo-1 in the West, on the remote steppes on what is now Kazakhstan, using intelligence gleaned from infiltrating the US's atomic bomb program. In the intervening years, their test program had surged in leaps and starts, detonating more than 80 devices. In 1958 alone, the Soviet tested 36 nuclear bombs. Tsar Bomba was no ordinary nuclear bomb. It was the result of a feverish attempt by the USSR scientists to create the most powerful nuclear weapon yet, spurred on by Premier Nikita Khruschchev's desire to make the world tremble at the might of Soviet technology. It was more than a metal monstrosity too big to fit inside even the largest aircraft. It was a city destroyer, a weapon of last resort. The Tupolev, painted bright white in order to lessen the effects of the bomb's flash, arrived at its target point. Nova Zemlya, a sparsely populated archipelago in the Barents Sea, above the frozen northern fringes of the USSR. The Tupolev's pilot, Major Andrei Dernovtsev, brought the aircraft to Medushka Bay, a Soviet testing range, at a height of about 34,000 feet, 10 kilometers. A smaller, modified Tu-16 bomber flew beside, ready to film the ensuing blast and monitor air samples as it flew from the blast zone. In order to give the two planes a chance to survive, and this was calculated as no more than a 50% chance, Tsar Bomba was deployed by a giant parachute weighing nearly a ton. The bomb would slowly drift down to a predetermined height minus 13,000 feet, 3,940 meters, and then detonate. By then, the two bombers would be nearly 50 kilometers, 30 miles, away. It should be far enough away for them to survive. Tsar Bomba detonated at 11:32 Moscow time. In a flash, the bomb created a fireball 5 miles wide. The fireball pulsed upwards from the force of its own shockwave. The flash could be seen from 1,000 kilometers, 630 miles, away. The bomb's mushroom cloud soared to 64 kilometers, 40 miles, high, with its cap spreading outwards until it stretched nearly 100 kilometers, 63 miles, from end to end. It must have been, from a very far distance perhaps, an awe-inspiring sight. On Novaya Zemlya, the effects were catastrophic. In the village of Severny, some 55 kilometers, 34 miles, from ground zero, all houses were completely destroyed. Tsar Bomba unleashed almost unbelievable energy, now widely agreed to be in the order of 57 megatons, or 57 million tons of TNT. That is more than 1,500 times that of the Hiroshima and Nagasaki bombs combined, and 10 times more powerful than all the munitions expended during World War II. Sensors registered the bomb's blast wave orbiting the Earth not once, not twice, but 3 times. Such a blast could not be kept secret. The US had a spy plane only tens of kilometers from the blast. It carried a special optical device called a bangmeter useful for calculating the yield of far-off nuclear explosions. Data from this aircraft, codenamed Speedlight, was used by the Foreign Weapons Evaluation Panel to calculate this mystery test's yield. The Tsar Bomba was so big that it couldn't be placed on a missile, and so heavy that the planes designed to carry it wouldn't have been able to take them all the way to their targets with enough fuel. And, if the bomb was as powerful as intended, the aircraft would have been on a one-way mission anyway.